welcome, and congratulations on taking the first, most crucial step toward a new beginning. You are here because you feel a pull, a deep internal calling that says it's time for a change. It's time for a fresh start. It's time to stop coasting and to start creating the life you were meant to live. The world would have you believe that transformation is a dramatic event. It tells you that change happens in one big, monumental leap. But the truth is far more profound, far more accessible, and far more within your control. The greatest transformations are not about doing something extraordinary all at once. They are built on a foundation of small, simple changes, habits that, when practiced consistently, will shape your future in ways you may not even expect. Your daily rituals are the invisible architecture of your life. They dictate your behavior, shape your outcomes, and ultimately determine your future. These are not difficult habits. In fact, they are things you can start doing today, right now. But over time, they will add up, they will build momentum, and before you know it, you will look back and realize just how much progress you have made. In this master class, we will explore 10 small habits that can truly transform who you are and how you live. We'll talk about rituals that improve your mindset, your focus, and your overall well-being. These are the tools that will help you rebuild yourself, not just into the person you want to be, but into the person you were always meant to become. This is your blueprint for a new life. This is where you stop feeling stuck and start creating the life you deserve. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have embarked on a profound journey of self-conquest, a master class in building a life of purpose and fulfillment. We have established that your daily rituals are the invisible architecture of your life. But now, we must turn our attention to the most critical, most influential, and most powerful ritual of them all. We must turn our attention to the morning. For most people, the morning is a battle they lose every single day. They stumble through the early hours, reactive and scattered, letting the world's demands and distractions set their agenda. They are playing a game of catch-up from the moment they open their eyes, and they wonder why they feel so exhausted, so stressed, and so unfulfilled by the end of the day. But the masters of their own lives understand a profound truth. The morning is not just the start of your day, it is the crucible of your destiny. It is the single most important time to reclaim your power, to set a course for the day, and to win the battle of your life before it even begins. This is the principle of the ritual of sovereignty. The morning is your fortress. It is the sacred time where you and you alone are in command. This is not about being a morning person. It is not about some special talent or innate ability. It is about a fierce, non-negotiable act of discipline. It is the deliberate decision to stop being a passive passenger and to start becoming the sovereign commander of your own time, your own energy, and your own mind. In this master class, we will explore a powerful protocol that will transform your mornings from a period of chaos into a ritual of power. This is how you reclaim your time, fuel your purpose, and create a momentum that will carry you through your entire day. Let us first confront the great lie of the modern age. It is the reactive morning. Most people begin their day by surrendering their sovereignty. Their first act, often a subconscious one, is to reach for their phone. And in that moment, they are inviting the outside world, a flood of notifications, emails, social media feeds, and the latest news to dictate their mood and their priorities. They become a ship's captain who, the moment he wakes, allows the winds and currents to carry him wherever they may. He has a destination in his heart, but his actions are not aligned with it. He is simply adrift. This is the cycle of a life lived in perpetual catch-up. A reactive morning leads to a scattered day. A scattered day leads to unfulfilled goals, and unfulfilled goals lead to a life of frustration and regret. You cannot expect a life of order and purpose to spring from a morning of chaos and distraction. The morning is a war for your attention. And when you start your day by allowing your attention to be stolen, you have already lost. The first act of your day should not be to react to the world, it should be to create your world. Before you even get to the rituals, you must first master the most critical step of all. And it is a step that requires a profound act of discipline. It is the discipline of the pause. The moment your alarm goes off, your instinct, conditioned by years of habit, will be to hit snooze or to reach for your phone. This is a moment of profound choice. This is where the battle is won or lost. Your first act of discipline is to resist that urge. It is to create a moment of silence and stillness, a sacred space where you and you alone are in command of your mind. This 5-minute act of stillness is not a luxury. It is the first and most important victory of the day. It is a profound act of self-respect. It says, my mental and emotional well-being are more important than a single notification. My purpose is more important than a fleeting distraction. I am the sovereign of my own time. This pause is your personal fortress. This is your mental sanctuary. This is the act of guarding the gates of your mind from the chaos of the world. It is in this stillness that you will find the clarity to engage in the rituals that will follow. Without this pause, these rituals are just a thought exercise. With it, they become a ritual of true sovereignty. Once you have mastered the pause, you are ready to engage in the Master's protocol for a sovereign morning. This is a structured 3-pillar system that transforms your morning from a period of chaos into a ritual of power. The first pillar is a simple but powerful command. It is the command to rise. Waking up early is not just a time management hack. It is a deliberate act of choosing control over comfort. When you wake up before the world begins to stir, you are giving yourself a head start. You are creating time that is your own, time to think, time to plan, time to take care of yourself before the demands of the day begin. The early hours are golden. They are a period of quiet and immense potential. Waking up early is an act of discipline that sends a powerful signal to your subconscious mind. I am in charge. I am ready to take on the day. This is not about sleep deprivation. This is about being intentional with your evenings so you can be intentional with your mornings. Your bedtime routine is a part of your morning routine. The Master understands that his day is not a series of isolated events, but a continuous chain of intentional choices. The second pillar is about priming your mind for success with a powerful tool. It is the tool of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a passive thanks, it is an act of alchemy. It is the discipline of taking a moment to reflect on what you already have, and in doing so, transforming your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Most people approach the day from a place of lack, thinking about what they don't have, what they need to get, and what is wrong with their lives. But when you begin your day with gratitude, you are deliberately stoking a fire of positivity inside you. You are training your mind's focus to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You are reminding yourself that you have enough, that you are enough, and that you are already in a position of power. This is an alchemical process that turns the base metal of lack into the gold of possibility. Your gratitude does not need to be grand. It can be for the simple gift of another day, for your health, for a warm cup of coffee. The ritual is not about the object of your gratitude, it is about the act of giving it. The final pillar is about giving your day a clear, unwavering command. It is the ritual of setting a daily intention. Most people have a long list of tasks they hope to get done, but this is a source of chaos, not power. A daily intention is a single, clear objective. It is a razor-sharp focus on the one or two things that will move the needle in your life. It is the voice that says, my intention today is to complete my most important task by 11 a.m. and to approach every interaction with a sense of calm purpose. This is your personal blueprint for the day. It is the disciplined choice to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. This blueprint frees you from decision fatigue, giving you a clear path to follow. It ensures that your actions are deliberate, not random. It is the ultimate act of aligning your mind, your emotions, and your actions with your purpose. The ultimate reward of this ritual is not just a good morning. The ultimate reward is the creation of unstoppable momentum. Think of your life as a great flywheel. The first time you push it, it is difficult. It requires immense effort. But with each successive push, the momentum builds. The flywheel turns with greater and greater force, and soon it is moving with such speed and power that it is effortless. Your intentional morning ritual is that daily push. The first time you get up early and pause, it is difficult. The first time you choose gratitude over worry, it is difficult. But with each successive day, the momentum builds. The discipline becomes a habit. The habit becomes a rhythm. and the rhythm becomes an unstoppable force that drives you toward your destiny. This is not a temporary challenge. This is a lifestyle. This is the master's way. This is how you win the day, one ritual at a time. This is how you build an extraordinary life from the ground up. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have traveled far on our 3-day conquest. We have laid the foundation of truth by reflecting on where we stand. We have charted our course by forging a vivid and undeniable vision of our ideal future. We have taken command of our inner dialogue, using gratitude and affirmations to speak our reality into existence. But now, we must turn our attention to the one vessel that will carry us through this entire journey. We must turn our attention to the most important project you will ever work on, your body and your mind, for they are not two separate entities. They are a single, interconnected, high-performance machine. The biggest mistake most people make is that they live as if their mind and body are disconnected. They will spend countless hours building their knowledge and honing their skills, yet they will neglect the physical machine that is supposed to execute their brilliant plans. They will fuel it with junk, let it atrophy from inactivity, and then they will wonder why their energy dips, their focus fades, and their will grows weak. They will intellectualize success while living in a body of compromise. But the master of his own destiny understands a profound truth. A powerful mind is useless without a well-maintained body, and a disciplined body cannot be commanded by a mind filled with chaos and negativity. The two are inextricably linked. The state of your physical being is the foundation for your mental clarity, your emotional resilience, and your unstoppable will. This part of our masterclass is a philosophical and practical journey into the most essential rituals of all. It is about the discipline of treating your mind and body not as an afterthought, but as a primary, non-negotiable project of self-sovereignty. Let's begin by confronting the common narrative of physical and mental neglect. We tell ourselves stories. I'm too busy to exercise. I don't have time to read. I'll start tomorrow. These are not reasons, they are excuses. These are not obstacles, they are self-imposed limitations that you have given yourself permission to believe. The problem with neglecting your body is that it creates a body of compromise. This is a body that is constantly running on fumes, a mind that is constantly clouded by a lack of energy, and a spirit that is weakened by a lack of vitality. This body is a liability, not an asset. It holds you back from your goals. It prevents you from being fully present with your loved ones. It robs you of the very energy you need to pursue your mission with relentless intensity. Think of it like this. Your body is a high-performance machine. It is an incredible, complex piece of engineering. But just like any machine, if you don't use it, it will atrophy. If you don't maintain it, it will break down. When you make the daily decision to not move, to not fuel it properly, you are essentially telling this magnificent machine that it's not important. And in doing so, you are telling yourself that your energy, your focus, and your vitality are not important either. This is the cycle of physical compromise. Low energy leads to a lack of discipline. A lack of discipline leads to missed workouts. Missed workouts lead to a weaker body, and a weaker body leads to a weaker mind. This cycle is a self-fulfilling prophecy of mediocrity. You must break this cycle. You must confront the lie of physical neglect and replace it with a new, powerful truth. Movement is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is not something you do when you have time. It is a fundamental part of who you are. This is the Master's protocol for movement, and it begins with a radical shift in your thinking. Movement as a mental act. Most people see exercise as a physical chore, but the conqueror sees it as a mental one. Every time you lace up your shoes for a run, every time you step on that mat for a stretch, you are not just moving your body. You are sending a powerful command to your mind. You are telling yourself, I am disciplined, I am in control. I keep my promises to myself. This is the secret power of this ritual. It is a daily proving ground for your willpower. The physical discipline of pushing through a workout strengthens the mental discipline you need to push through a tough negotiation, a complex problem, or a moment of self-doubt. The burn in your muscles is a physical representation of your growing will. The sweat on your brow is the sweat of your character being forged, the mind-body connection. The scientific truth behind this is undeniable. When you move your body, you do more than just build muscle. You reduce stress by lowering cortisol. You improve your mood by releasing endorphins. You increase mental clarity and focus by improving blood flow to your brain. You are, in effect, making yourself smarter, sharper, and more resilient with every step you take. This is not some abstract feel-good philosophy. This is a practical, biological blueprint for peak performance. The law of daily progress. We talked about the importance of consistency over intensity. This is especially true for movement. Your goal is not to have one monumental workout a week. Your goal is to have a daily ritual. It is better to have a 20-minute walk every day than a 2-hour workout once a week. The one-day-a-week warrior is building a body of peaks and valleys. The daily ritual master is building an unshakable foundation. The discipline of showing up, even for a short time, is more valuable than an occasional, intense workout. It's the daily act of telling yourself, I am a person who moves. And that identity is what will carry you forward. Just as your body needs fuel, your mind needs nourishment. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant, nurture, and water will grow. And in our modern world, the weeds of negativity, bad news, gossip, doubt are everywhere. You must be a ruthless gardener. You must feed your mind with positivity, with wisdom, and with new ideas. This is the master's protocol for the mind, and it begins with a profound shift in your thinking. The garbage in, garbage out philosophy, the information you consume every day, the conversations you have, the media you scroll through, the books you read, is the mental nutrition that fuels your mind. If you feed it a constant diet of negativity, chaos, and distraction, that is exactly what will grow. This is why you must protect your mental garden fiercely. Be selective with the media you consume. Be deliberate with the conversations you engage in. You cannot expect a powerful, positive mindset to grow in a garden that is constantly being seeded with weeds. Reading as a ritual. One of the most powerful and time-tested ways to feed your mind positivity is by reading. Reading is not a passive act. It is a discipline of directed thought. It is a way to borrow the minds of the world's greatest thinkers, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most profound philosophers. When you read, you are installing new operating systems into your mind. You are learning new strategies, gaining new perspectives, and challenging old beliefs. And just like with movement, consistency is key. 10 pages a day is a small, manageable habit, but it will add up to 12 books a year. Imagine how much you could grow if you consistently read 12 books a year. Your mind and your body are your greatest assets. Treat them as such. Nurture them, protect them, and fuel them with the best you have to offer. The ultimate reward of this ritual is not just a six-pack or a library of books. Those are superficial rewards. The true reward is a body and mind that are a single, powerful, and inseparable machine of purpose. It is a body that is a source of energy, not a drain on it. It is a mind that is clear, focused, and full of vitality, not chaos. It is a machine that gives you the confidence to walk into any room, to speak your truth, and to command respect. It is a machine that can carry you through your conquest rather than holding you back. When you commit to this ritual, you are making a powerful statement. You are saying, I am worth this effort. My future is worth this investment. My purpose is worth this discipline. You are not just building a body, you are building an identity. You are building yourself into a winner. Now that you have understood the power of fueling your machine, we must give that machine a clear, daily purpose to execute. For a powerful machine without a blueprint is just a source of wasted energy. Our next step is to lay out that blueprint one day at a time. If this message is resonating with you, please hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who are ready to take control of their lives. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have taken the first, most courageous steps on our path to a new life. We have looked at the truth of our past, and we have forged a vivid and undeniable vision for our future. We have taken command of our self-talk, and we have armed ourselves with the discipline of relentless action. We have a commander and a purpose. But a great general with the most powerful army in the world and the clearest purpose will accomplish nothing without a precise blueprint for the day's conquest. For action without direction is chaos. This, my friends, is the moment you translate your mental conquest into a physical reality. This is the moment you stop hoping your day will be successful and start designing it. This is the moment you stop being a victim of your schedule and start becoming its master. This is the principle of the blueprint of tomorrow. It is the simple yet profound act of planning your day with unwavering intention and holding yourself accountable to that plan. Most people live in a state of chaos. They wake up and their day is an accident. They allow the noise of the world to dictate their agenda, and they wonder why they never make real progress. But the Master understands that a life of purpose is not the result of a happy accident. It is the result of a precise, intentional, and well-executed blueprint laid out one day at a time. Let us first confront the great lie that keeps most people from ever reaching their potential. It is the belief that you can wing it and still win. This is a profound and dangerous self-deception. A life without a plan is a life of accidents. It is a life lived in reaction, not in creation. Think of a ship's captain who sets sail without a map. He may be courageous, his ship may be strong, but he is at the mercy of every current, every storm, and every gust of wind. He may end up somewhere, but it will not be the destination he intended. This is the wing it mindset. It leads to decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion that comes from having to make 100 small, unprioritized decisions throughout the day. It leads to the to-do list trap, where a long, sprawling list of tasks is a source of stress, not a source of power. Your day becomes a frantic, reactive game of trying to check off as many boxes as possible, and at the end of the day, you are exhausted, but you have made no real progress toward your grander vision. Your daily blueprint is the antidote to this chaos. It is the disciplined choice to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. It is a rejection of the lie that you must do everything and an embrace of the truth that you must do the right things. This is where you stop trying to run a marathon every day and start focusing on a single powerful step. To use your daily blueprint as a powerful tool, you need a protocol. This is a structured two-part system that transforms a chaotic day into a focused and productive one. The first pillar is the discipline of planning your day the night before. This is not just a habit, it is a strategic retreat after the day's battle. It is where you pause, you reflect, and you prepare for the next day's conquest. Most people end their day in a state of exhaustion. Their mind is racing with all the things they forgot to do. They fall into bed with a head full of chaos, which leads to poor sleep and a scattered start to the next day. But the master of their own life uses the evening for a different purpose. Your evening ritual is a time for analysis, reflection, and preparation. You ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? What went well? What could I have done better? This is where you conduct your personal post-mortem, extracting the lessons from the day's experiences. You use this knowledge to ensure that tomorrow's conquest is more effective than today's. Once you have reviewed the day, you then set your intention for the next. You write down the one or two things that, if completed, will make the day a success in your eyes. This is your most important task. This is the single most crucial brick you must lay in your personal conquest for the day. You are rejecting the notion that you must be busy and embracing the truth that you must be purposeful. The second pillar of this protocol is the discipline of morning execution. Your plan from the night before is your first command of the day. Most people use their mornings for planning. They wake up and spend precious, high-energy minutes deciding what to do. But you, the architect, have already made that decision. Your morning is not for planning, it is for execution. It is for a deliberate, focused, and immediate act of conquest. When you wake up, your blueprint from the night before is your first command. It frees you from decision fatigue and the chaos of an unplanned morning. It allows you to immediately begin working on your most important task when your energy at its peak and distractions are at a minimum. This is the act of winning the day before it even begins. A blueprint without a way to measure progress is just a piece of paper. The power of a plan is not just in its creation, but in its execution and its measurement. This is the master's protocol for tracking. Your progress is not always visible to the naked eye. It's easy to work hard for weeks and feel like you've made no progress. This is where most people get discouraged and quit. But a master understands that what gets measured gets improved. Tracking your progress is not for judgment, it is for information. It is the compass that tells you whether you are on the right path. It is the feedback loop that tells you what is working and what is not. You must track your actions and your results relentlessly. Were you consistent? Did you complete your MIT? Did you move the needle? Every piece of data is a new piece of information that makes your next move more strategic. The second pillar of tracking is the discipline of celebrating. This is not about ego, it is about building momentum. When you complete your MIT, when you hit a milestone, no matter how small, you must acknowledge it. You must celebrate it. This is a powerful psychological act. You are rewarding your brain for its discipline. You are creating a positive feedback loop that says, this effort leads to a good feeling. This is the fuel that makes the next act of discipline easier. Think of it like a momentum flywheel. A small push, small win, makes the next push easier. This discipline of celebration is how you turn a small, consistent habit into an unstoppable force. The blueprint of tomorrow is your final act of defiance against a life of chaos. It is your commitment to a life of purpose. It is your decision to stop being a reactor and to start being the architect of your own destiny. The blueprint is in your hands. Your day is waiting for your command. Now, go forth and create. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have taken the first, most courageous steps on our path to a new life. We have had the courage to look at the truth of our past. We have forged a vivid and undeniable vision for our future. We have taken command of our self-talk, and we have armed ourselves with the discipline of relentless action and the power of a daily blueprint. We have a commander, a purpose, and a precise plan. But a master builder with the finest tools and the most detailed blueprint will not see a magnificent cathedral rise overnight. He lays one stone, then another, then another. And for days, weeks, even months, the progress seems almost invisible. He is just laying stones. But he understands a fundamental, unwavering law of the universe that turns these single, seemingly insignificant acts into a breathtaking masterpiece. This, my friends, is the principle of the law of compounding. Most people underestimate the power of these tiny, consistent actions. They want a big, immediate result. They want the skyscraper to appear the moment they lay the first stone. But the truth is, the greatest achievements are not built with a single dramatic leap. They are built with small, almost invisible steps, repeated daily. This is a fundamental principle that applies to everything in your life, from your finances to your habits to your relationships. It is the silent, unstoppable force that will turn your small daily efforts into massive, exponential results. Let us first confront the great lie that keeps most people from ever experiencing this power. It is the seductive and destructive lie of instant gratification. We live in an age that glorifies immediate results. We want a six-pack in 6 minutes. We want a fortune in a day. We want the harvest without the planting, the masterpiece without the striking of the chisel. This is the mindset of scarcity, a profound lack of patience that tells us if we don't see immediate results, our effort must be worthless. This mindset leads to frustration, burnout, and a life of constant starting and stopping. A farmer does not plant a seed and expect a full harvest the next day. He knows that in the beginning, all the hard work is invisible. He plants, he waters, he waits. He knows that the true magic is happening beneath the surface in a way he cannot see. But the casual observer, the impatient amateur, would look at that field for a week and see nothing, and they would conclude that the effort was a failure, and so they would quit. But the master, the one who understands the law of compounding, knows that the early days are the most important. They are the days when the seeds are being planted. They are the days when the momentum is being built. They are the days when the work feels the hardest and the results feel the most distant. But they do not quit. They trust the process. They trust the profound invisible power that is working relentlessly beneath the surface. The law of compounding is a powerful force, but it requires one thing from you above all others: consistency. Your goal is not to have one monumental workout a week. Your goal is not to read one book a year. Your goal is to have a daily ritual. It is better to have a 10-minute walk every day than a 2-hour workout once a month. It is better to read 1 page every day than to read 100 pages and then stop for 6 weeks. The occasional heroics are worthless without a foundation of unwavering consistency. This is the protocol of the non-zero day. The principle is simple. Every single day, no matter how tired, how busy, or how uninspired you feel, you must do at least one small thing to move your conquest forward. Did you miss your full workout? Do 1 push-up. Did you not have time to read a chapter? Read 1 sentence. Did you not make that big sales call? Send 1 email. This is not about the size of the action. This is about the unbroken chain of the habit. The moment you have a 0 day, a day where you do nothing, you are not just losing a day of progress. You are breaking the chain of consistency, and momentum is lost. But the commitment to a non-zero day, the discipline of showing up even for a short time, is an act of profound self-respect that keeps the momentum, the invisible power of compounding, working relentlessly on your behalf. Compounding is not a linear process. It is a geometric one. And in that geometric progression lies a powerful secret that most people never get to experience. It is the tipping point of momentum. Think again of the snowball rolling down the hill. For the first 50 feet, it's just a snowball. It's gaining weight, but the progress is not dramatic. But then it hits a tipping point. The size and the speed of the snowball reach a point where the growth becomes exponential. It starts picking up snow at an incredible, an almost unbelievable rate. And suddenly, that snowball that started out as a small, seemingly insignificant thing has become an unstoppable avalanche. Your habits work the same way. The early days, the first weeks, the first months, that is when the work feels the hardest. That is when the results seem the most distant. This is the period of invisible growth. This is the period when you are laying the bricks, but the walls are not yet visible. This is the price you pay for the power of compounding. But if you stay consistent, if you trust the process, you will hit that tipping point. Your discipline will reach a point where the hard work of the early days has become a source of immense, unstoppable momentum, and suddenly the progress that was once invisible will become undeniable. The results will come to you at an incredible and almost unbelievable rate. The universe will respond to the sheer force of the energy you have been building. You will find opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs flowing toward you effortlessly. This is not magic. This is cause and effect. This is the inevitable harvest of a patient, persistent, and consistent effort. The ultimate reward of this ritual is not just a life with more accomplished goals. The ultimate reward is reaching a point where success feels effortless. This is the profound, beautiful irony of discipline. The disciplined life seems hard to the undisciplined. They see the early mornings, the consistent effort, the sacrifice, and they believe it is a life of unending struggle. But they are wrong. They are only seeing the early days, the period when the momentum is being built. The master of compounding knows a secret. They know that once the momentum is in full force, once the habits are so deeply ingrained, once the foundational work is done, the life of discipline becomes a life of flow. The hard work of the early days has been paid, and now they are living in a state of grace, where success is not something they have to force, but something that naturally flows from who they have become. Their discipline has become their freedom. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have traveled far on our journey. We have laid the foundation of truth, and we have mastered the power of intentional thought. We have taken command of our self-talk and armed ourselves with the discipline of action. We have built a blueprint for our day, and we understand the compounding power of small, consistent habits. We have all the tools. We have the map. We have the plan. But now we must turn our attention to the one principle that separates the good from the great. The one principle that separates the consistent performer from the master. The one discipline that turns a life of hard work into a life of profound, uncompromising excellence. This is the law of the extra mile. For most people, a life of success is about doing what is required. It is about meeting the minimum standard, checking the necessary boxes, and then stopping. It is about operating by a standard of good enough. They are the runners in a marathon who stop exactly at the finish line, not a step further. And because of that, they will always, always remain in a race with everyone else. But the master, the true architect of transformation, understands that a finish line is not a destination, it is a starting point for the next lap. They understand that greatness is not found in what is required, but in what is given beyond the requirement. The law of the extra mile is the principle that you will provide more service, more effort, and more value than you are paid for. This is a profound and radical commitment, and it is the single greatest discipline you can cultivate. This is not about external praise. This is not about seeking applause. This is about an internal, non-negotiable vow to yourself that says, I will operate at a higher level than anyone, including myself, expects of me. This is where you transform your work from a chore into a masterpiece. This is where you transform your life from ordinary into a profound work of art. Let us first confront the enemy of all progress. It is the mindset of complacency. It is the insidious belief that good enough is, in fact, good enough. This is a comfortable prison. Its walls are built of 1,000 small moments where you chose the easy path. It is the moment you stopped that extra repetition at the gym because it started to burn. It is the moment you closed the book a page short of the chapter's end. It is the moment you submitted a project that was acceptable but not exceptional. This mindset is dangerous because it is a silent killer of potential. It tells you that a half-hearted effort is just as good as a complete one. It tells you that mediocrity is a safe place to be. But the truth is, mediocrity is not a destination. It is a profound and unexamined state of stagnation. It is a life lived in compromise. A true craftsman does not settle for good enough. A master sculptor does not put down his chisel when the statue is merely passable. He keeps carving, keeps refining, keeps working until the masterpiece within is fully revealed. He knows that the last 10% of the effort is what produces 90% of the result. And that last 10% is where the magic happens. This is the difference. The person who operates by good enough is constantly in a state of compromise. The person who operates by the law of the extra mile is constantly in a state of creation. Your mastery begins the moment you refuse to accept good enough from yourself. To apply the law of the extra mile, you need a protocol. This is a structured three-pillar system of mental mastery that elevates your performance from consistent to exceptional. The first pillar is a philosophical shift. You must understand that over-delivery is not a favor to others. It is a profound gift to yourself. Most people believe that if they do more than is required, they are being taken advantage of. They believe that their effort should be met with an immediate, direct, and equal reward. But this is a mindset of scarcity. This is the belief that there is a finite pie, and if you give a bigger piece, you will be left with less. But the master understands a different truth. Over-delivery is a psychological engine that you build for yourself. Every time you go the extra mile, you are sending a powerful signal to your subconscious mind. I am a person of excellence. I am a person of high standards. I am a person who operates at a higher level. This is a profound and powerful command. It is how you build an internal identity of unwavering excellence. This identity, once forged, becomes an unstoppable force. It is the internal compass that will guide you to always do your best, not because you have to, but because you cannot tolerate doing anything less. This is how you build an internal feedback loop where your high-quality effort produces a profound sense of self-respect and pride, which in turn fuels more high-quality effort. This is how you get off the treadmill of external validation and step onto the rocket ship of internal power. The second pillar is about the discipline of setting a standard. Excellence is not a random act. It is a deliberate standard that you hold yourself to in every area of your life. Think of a master chef. He does not compromise on the quality of his ingredients regardless of the price. He does not compromise on the precision of his technique regardless of the time it takes. He has an internal standard for his craft that is non-negotiable. You must adopt this same mindset. Your standard is not something that is demanded of you by others. It is something you demand of yourself. In your physical health, your standard is not just to be in shape, but to be in exceptional shape. In your professional work, your standard is not just to complete the project, but to deliver a masterpiece that exceeds all expectations. In your relationships, your standard is not just to be present, but to be deeply, authentically, and fully present. This is where you fight the small compromises that lead to mediocrity. This is where you refuse to accept a half-hearted effort from yourself. Your personal standard for your craft is the ultimate measure of your self-respect. The third pillar is about the practical application of this philosophy. It's not about working yourself to exhaustion. It's about a small, intentional, extra step in everything you do. This is a ritual of daily over-delivery. In your physical training, when you feel the burn, you don't stop. You do one more repetition. That one more repetition is your extra mile. In your mental growth, when you finish a chapter, you don't close the book. You read one more page. That one more page is your extra mile. In your work, when a project is complete, you don't just submit it. You take one more look. You ask, is there anything I can do to make this better? That one more look, that one more moment of attention to detail is your extra mile. These small, intentional extra steps may seem insignificant, but they are the tiny compounding forces that, over time, separate you from everyone else. They are the daily acts of telling yourself that you are not a person of the bare minimum, you are a person of unwavering excellence. The ultimate external reward of this principle is a reputation that precedes you. A reputation for excellence is a powerful form of personal currency. It is a magnet that attracts opportunities, resources, and alliances that would be invisible to others. When you consistently go the extra mile, people notice. They notice the quality of your work. They notice the depth of your commitment. They notice the excellence that you bring to everything you touch. And because they notice, they begin to seek you out. Opportunities will come to you, not because you chased them, but because your reputation for excellence attracted them. This is how you get off the endless treadmill of hustling for opportunities and step into the flow of success. Your reputation becomes your greatest asset. It is the unspoken signal that says, this is a person who operates at a higher level. This is a person who delivers. And this is the kind of reputation that cannot be bought with money. It can only be earned with unwavering discipline. The path to an unstoppable life is not a mystery. It is a blueprint. And the fuel that will carry you forward is not a fleeting burst of motivation, but a relentless, unwavering commitment to excellence. You have learned that good enough is the enemy of progress. You have learned that the law of the extra mile is a profound and radical commitment to yourself. You have learned that your personal standard is the ultimate measure of your self-respect, and you have learned that the small, intentional, extra steps you take daily will forge a reputation that is second to none. This is not a temporary challenge. This is a lifetime commitment. It is the decision to make every action a masterpiece. It is the decision to operate at a higher level, not because you have to, but because you can no longer tolerate doing anything less. This is the discipline of excellence. And it is the key that will unlock a life of profound and lasting achievement. This is just one of the principles we're mastering. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next step on your journey. Welcome back, Architects of Destiny. We have traveled far on our journey to rebuild ourselves. We have laid the cornerstone of truth by having the courage to look at our lives. We have armed ourselves with the discipline of action. And we have committed to a precise daily blueprint. We have a solid foundation, but a building with a strong foundation but no support structure is a house of cards. It is brittle. It is fragile. It can be brought down by a single gust of wind. To create a life that can withstand any storm, to build a life that is not only successful but profoundly meaningful, you must erect the pillars and beams that will hold it all together. This, my friends, is the principle of the architecture of fulfillment. This is the art of investing in meaningful connections. For too long, the world has taught us that the pursuit of success is a solitary journey. It has told us that we must be relentless, focused, and single-minded to the exclusion of all else. But that is a profound and dangerous lie. A life built on a solitary foundation, no matter how strong, is a life of hollow achievements. It is a life of victories celebrated in an empty room. The great conquerors, the masters of their own destiny, understand that a life of true fulfillment is not a solo act. It is a symphony. It is a shared journey. The quality of your life will always mirror the quality of your relationships. And if you are serious about transforming your life, you must be just as intentional about who you surround yourself with as you are about your goals and your habits. This is your blueprint for a life of purpose, connection, and unshakable support. Let us first confront the great lie that keeps most people from ever experiencing true fulfillment. It is the belief that success is found in isolation. We are told to hustle, to grind, to sacrifice everything for our ambition. We see the image of the lone warrior on the mountaintop, and we believe that is the ideal. But the lone warrior is, in fact, the most vulnerable of all. He has no one to guard his back. He has no one to share his victories with. He has no one to lift him up when he is defeated. His strength, no matter how great, is always brittle because it stands alone. This mindset of isolation leads to a profound and dangerous form of self-sabotage. It convinces us that relationships are a distraction, a weakness, or a luxury we can afford to neglect. We become so focused on our goals that we forget the very reason we set them in the first place. We build a magnificent fortress of success only to find ourselves alone within its walls. A life of true fulfillment is not just about what you achieve. It is about who you become in the process and who you share that journey with. This principle is your act of defiance against the story of isolation. It is your decision to build a life that is not only strong, but profoundly connected. To use your relationships as a tool for creation, you need a protocol. This is a structured, three-pillar system of mental mastery that transforms a scattered network into a powerful, intentional alliance. The first pillar is about the discipline of pruning. Before you can build a new, powerful network, you must have the courage to remove the dead branches. The first step to building a strong foundation of relationships is to ruthlessly and intentionally prune the relationships that are holding you back. There are people in your life who are time vampires and energy leeches. These are people who drain you, who fill your mind with negativity, and who discourage your ambition. They do not share your values, they do not share your drive, and you must understand this truth. Their low standards will become your new reality. You can't plant a magnificent oak tree in a field full of weeds. The weeds will choke its growth. This is not a cruel act. This is a courageous act of self-respect. You are simply saying, my time, my energy, and my future are too valuable to be given away to those who do not respect them. This act of pruning creates the necessary space for new, more powerful connections to enter your life. Once you have pruned the dead branches, you must then be intentional about planting new seeds. This is the law of association. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is not just a clever saying, it is a fundamental law of human psychology. Their attitudes, their habits, and their standards will, over time, become your own. Their discipline will become your discipline. Their ambition will become your ambition. To build a life of purpose, you must proactively seek out people who are on a similar path. You must build what Napoleon Hill called a mastermind alliance, a group of individuals who share your ambition, your positivity, and your commitment to growth. These are the people who will challenge you to think bigger, who will offer their wisdom, and who will hold you accountable to your highest potential. This alliance is not just a network, it is a psychic shield, a source of collective faith and courage that will protect you when your own resolve begins to waver. This is the act of building a powerful personal alliance that will multiply your own discipline and accelerate your progress. Your daily rituals of self-mastery are the magnet that will attract these people into your life. A true relationship is not a transaction, it is a ritual of contribution. The best relationships are not built on what you can get, they are built on what you can give. This is a disciplined, proactive approach to connection. It is the ritual of listening more than you speak. It is the ritual of celebrating others' victories as if they were your own. It is the ritual of offering support, wisdom, and encouragement without any expectation of a return. When you contribute to others' success and growth, you will find that your own success becomes more achievable. When you practice the ritual of contribution, you build trust, you build respect, and you build a powerful foundation of goodwill. You become a giver, and a giver is never in a state of lack. You become a magnet for meaningful connections because people are naturally drawn to those who seek to build them up, not tear them down. Your relationships are a forge for your character. They are the mirror in which you see your own reflection. The friction, the challenges, and the support you experience in your relationships are what refine your empathy, your patience, and your resilience. A lone warrior, no matter how strong, will eventually become hardened and brittle. But a warrior who trains with others learns to adapt, to compromise, and to see a problem from a new perspective. Your relationships are the fire that burns away your own rough edges and refines you into a better person. The ultimate reward of this ritual is not just a list of accomplishments. It is a life lived with a profound sense of fulfillment. A life with a strong support structure is a life that is resilient, joyful, and truly meaningful. Your conquest is an individual mission, but it is not a solitary journey. You have the blueprint, you have the tools, and you have the courage. Now, you must make the commitment to stop the destructive habit of isolation and to start the powerful, disciplined ritual of building a supportive network. A life of purpose and profound connection is waiting for you. The choice is yours. Welcome back, architects of destiny. We have traveled far on our conquest. We have learned to build the invisible architecture of a great life with our daily rituals, from the stillness of reflection to the purpose of our plans. We have committed to feeding our minds with positivity and moving our bodies with intention. We have built the foundation of our habits, but now we must confront the final and perhaps most crucial principle of all. For what happens when your carefully laid plans go awry? What happens when you are met not with success, but with the searing heat of temporary defeat? What happens when a habit breaks, a goal is missed, or a venture fails? For most people, this is where the journey ends. Their inner dialogue, still fragile from years of neglect, betrays them. The self-talk that was so positive on a good day turns into a chorus of doubt and self-criticism. They lose momentum because their words make them fragile. They let setbacks break their confidence. They let the first sign of struggle make them question everything. They believe that a setback is a sign to stop, to retreat, to give up. But the strong, the true masters of their own minds understand that resilience is not about avoiding failure. It is about using failure to become stronger. It is not about feeling motivated every day. It is about showing up whether you feel like it or not. And it is not about waiting for inspiration. It is about making your actions non-negotiable. This final principle is the ultimate crucible of character. It is the discipline to not only survive the fire, but to be forged by it. This is the art of turning pressure into power and failure into the raw material of your greatest triumphs. This is the identity of resilience. Let us begin by dissecting the common mindset that leads to a life of fragility. Most people have a profound and debilitating fear of failure. This fear is not a birthright. It is a habit, a story they have told themselves so often that it has become a central part of their identity. This fear is born from a misguided self-talk that frames failure as a final, terminal event, a signal that they are not good enough, a public condemnation of their abilities. Because of this, they spend their lives walking on eggshells. They hesitate to take risks. They choose the path of least resistance. They stay within their comfort zones because their inner dialogue has convinced them that the cost of a setback is too high to bear. This fragile mindset manifests in many ways. It's the entrepreneur who never launches their business because they are afraid of it failing. It's the writer who never finishes the book because they fear it won't be good enough. It's the student who never raises their hand in class for fear of giving the wrong answer. Their lives are built on a foundation of what if, and because of that, they never get to experience what is. They are not living, they are simply existing in a state of perpetual caution, a state of arrested development. But let me tell you this truth: greatness and growth are found on the other side of failure. They are forged in the very moments that you are afraid to experience. The fear of failure is a story, and like all stories, you have the power to rewrite it. This final principle is your act of defiance against the story of fragility. It is your decision to become unbreakable. The first and most critical step in building the identity of resilience is to change the way you talk to yourself about setbacks. You must become a master of reframing. Most people talk about failure as if it is final. They say, I failed, so maybe this isn't for me. They say, I keep messing up. This self-talk programs their minds to fear failure instead of learning from it. They see a mistake as proof of a flaw in their character rather than as a flaw in their plan. But the successful, the resilient, the unbreakable, they speak about setbacks differently. They have a new language. They have a new mental operating system. They do not see failure, they see data. They do not see a mistake, they see a lesson. They do not see a reason to quit, they see a reason to pivot. Think of a scientist in a lab. If an experiment doesn't work, he doesn't throw his hands up in the air and say, "I'm a failure," he says. Interesting. This data shows me that my hypothesis was incorrect. Now I know one more way that it doesn't work. This brings me one step closer to finding the way that it does work. He sees the setback not as a condemnation of his worth, but as a critical piece of information. You must adopt this same mindset. Your life is your grand experiment. Your setbacks are not failures, they are data points. They are signals from reality telling you that your current approach needs to be adjusted. The discipline of reframing is the conscious, deliberate act of stripping the emotional charge from a negative event and seeing it for what it truly is, a valuable, hard-won lesson. Here are the mental commands you must practice. Instead of saying, "I failed," you say, "I learned." Instead of saying, "I messed up," you say, "I just discovered a new way that doesn't work." Instead of saying, "This is too hard," you say, "I get stronger with every challenge." Your mind follows the meaning you give to failure. If you see it as proof that you are not good enough, you will shrink. But if you see it as part of the process, a necessary step on the path to mastery, you will keep moving forward. When a setback occurs, the fragile mind reacts with emotion. The resilient mind responds with a protocol. You must train yourself to follow a three-step mental process that turns chaos into clarity and disappointment into a renewed sense of purpose. Step one, the pause. Before you do anything else, you must create a moment of stillness. In the wake of a setback, your emotions, fear, anger, frustration, will be at their peak. If you react immediately, you will make a mistake. You will say something you regret, make a decision you haven't fully thought through, or, worst of all, you will quit. Your first act of discipline is to resist this urge to react. Take a breath, take a walk, do whatever you need to do to create a space between the event and your emotional response. This pause is your first victory. Step two, the ruthless analysis. Once you have paused, you must engage your rational mind. This is not a time for self-pity or blame. It is a time for ruthless analysis. Ask yourself, what is the lesson here? What specific action or decision led to this outcome? What weakness in my plan did this expose? What new information have I gained that I didn't have before? How can I use this experience to improve my strategy? This analysis is not about finding fault. It is about finding feedback. It transforms the setback from a source of pain into a source of knowledge. Step three, the pivot. Once you have the lesson, you have the power. You can now adjust your course. The fragile mind sees a roadblock and turns back. The resilient mind sees a roadblock and finds a new route. This is the pivot. It's the decision to change the plan, but not the destination. It is the act of taking the lesson you just learned and applying it immediately to a new, improved course of action. This is the ultimate act of resilience, the ability to not only get back on your feet, but to get back on a stronger, wiser path. The identity of resilience is not just about reframing. It is about embracing the discomfort that comes with every setback. It is the understanding that pressure, heat, and struggle are not your enemies. They are the tools of your becoming. Imagine a master blacksmith forging a magnificent sword. The raw metal is soft and full of impurities. The blacksmith places it into the searing heat of the forge. He then takes a mighty hammer and begins to strike it over and over again. The strikes are painful, the heat is immense, but it is in that very process, the combination of heat and force, that the impurities are burned away, the metal is hardened, and the strength of the sword is revealed. You are that raw metal. Your setbacks, your challenges, your moments of doubt and struggle, they are the fire and the hammer. If you let them break you, you will remain soft and impure. But if you embrace them, If you use your self-talk to command yourself through the process, you will become hardened, strong, and unbreakable. The most resilient people don't avoid the fire, they seek it out. They understand that the moments of struggle are not a sign of failure. They are the moments of growth. They train their minds to see discomfort not as a threat, but as a signal that they are on the right path. They know that what they are building is far more valuable than the temporary pain they are experiencing. Your self-talk is the voice of the blacksmith. It is the voice that says, "The fire is making me stronger. The hammer is removing my weaknesses. I am being forged into the very weapon I need to be to win this war." This is the kind of identity that cannot be broken. It is an identity that does not just recover from setbacks, but becomes stronger because of them. It is the identity of resilience. To build this identity, you must not only reframe failure, but also proactively use self-talk to build relentless momentum after a setback. This is the language of the phoenix, the ability to rise from the ashes of a bad day with renewed power and purpose. Most people, when faced with a setback, let the negativity linger. They let it consume their thoughts, their emotions, and their energy. They spend days, sometimes weeks, beating themselves up over a mistake. They say things like, "I can't believe I did that," or "What was I thinking?" This is a profound waste of your most valuable resources. But the master of resilience has a different protocol. The moment they experience a setback, they immediately engage in a series of mental commands designed to shut down the negative spiral and initiate a new course of action. 1. The command to stop. The first command is a ruthless rejection of the negative self-talk. It is the voice that says, "Stop. I will not engage in this negativity. This is not serving me. You must not entertain thoughts that weaken you. You must cut them off immediately, like a surgeon excising a cancer." 2. The command to analyze. Once the negativity has been silenced, the next command is to engage your rational mind. It is the voice that says, "What is the lesson here? What did I learn? What is the data telling me?" This command moves you from the emotional center of your brain to the logical problem-solving center. It transforms the setback from a source of pain into a source of knowledge. 3. The command to recommit. The final command is a powerful declaration of intent. It is the voice that says, "Okay, now I have a new plan. I am committed to this path and I am moving forward." This command reinforces your purpose. It declares to your subconscious mind that the destination has not changed. Only the route has been adjusted. This is the language of the phoenix. It is the language of a mind that does not dwell on the ashes of the past, but is constantly focused on the flight of the future. It is a language of power, of purpose, and of unstoppable resilience. We have journeyed together through the principles of resilience, but the final, most advanced stage of this mastery is to become not just resilient, but anti-fragile. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from a setback. Anti-fragility is the ability to become stronger because of it. A resilient boxer gets knocked down and gets back up. An anti-fragile boxer gets knocked down, uses the energy of the blow to analyze their opponent's weakness, and comes back with a new strategy, stronger than before. Your self-talk is the bridge to anti-fragility. By consistently using your words to reframe a setback as a lesson, a mistake as a data point, and a challenge as an opportunity for growth, you are training your mind to not just endure difficulty, but to extract power from it. You are teaching yourself that every single setback, no matter how small, is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is a hidden key to unlocking a higher level of performance, a deeper level of knowledge, and a stronger level of character. This is the most powerful self-talk of all. It is the voice that says, "Bring it on." I know that with every single challenge, with every single setback, I am becoming stronger. I am becoming more intelligent. I am becoming more capable. And with every single hit, I am building the kind of strength that cannot be broken. The master key to your destiny is in your hands. Now go and use it. We have traveled far. We have learned to build the invisible architecture of a great life with our daily rituals, from the stillness of reflection to the purpose of our plans. We have committed to feeding our minds with positivity and moving our bodies with intention. We have built the foundation of our habits. But now we must turn our attention to the final and perhaps most critical ritual of all. For a ship's captain, the voyage does not end when the sun sets. The captain's final duty is to find a safe harbor, to drop a strong anchor, and to secure the vessel against the night's winds and tides. For if the ship is not anchored, it will drift, it will take on damage, and it will be unready for the next day's journey. Your day is that voyage, and your final rituals, how you choose to end it, are that final anchor. This is the principle of the final anchor. This is the art of securing the day's victories, of making peace with its challenges, and of preparing your mind and body for the conquest of tomorrow. This is the moment you stop being a victim of your evenings and start becoming their master. Most people end their day in a state of chaos. They allow the noise of the world to follow them into the quiet hours. They waste their energy on mindless scrolling, on unexamined thoughts, and on the distractions that steal their peace and their sleep. They go to bed with a scattered mind, and they wake up with no momentum. But the conqueror understands that the way you end your day dictates the way you begin the next. A day well ended is a day already half won. Let us first confront the great lie that keeps most people from ever reaching their potential. It is the belief that the evening hours are a time for mindless consumption, for passive entertainment, and for a complete surrender of your discipline. This is the folly of a chaotic ending. It is a profound and dangerous act of self-sabotage. Think of your mind as a ship, and throughout the day, your ship has been sailing through the waters of commerce, of relationships, of challenges, and of victories. But if you do not anchor it, if you do not perform a disciplined shutdown, you will allow 1,000 tiny leaks to form. These leaks are the wasted minutes of aimless scrolling. They are the hours lost to binge-watching television. They are the unexamined thoughts of worry and doubt that steal your peace and your sleep. You are, in effect, actively draining your energy, your focus, and your vitality at the very moment you should be recharging it. This chaotic ending is the root cause of the stuck feeling that so many people experience. It is the reason they feel tired even after a full night's sleep. It is the reason they wake up without a clear sense of purpose. They are going to sleep with a mind full of unexamined thoughts, and they are waking up to the same noise they went to bed with. Your final rituals are the non-negotiable act of plugging those leaks. They are the act of preparing your ship so that when the sun rises, you are ready to set sail with a full tank of fuel, a clear compass, and a powerful, unwavering sense of direction. To end your day with power and purpose, you need a protocol. This is a structured two-pillar system of mental and physical mastery that transforms a chaotic ending into a foundation for a new beginning. The first pillar is about the discipline of the shutdown. This is not about a total digital detox. It is about a disciplined, intentional ritual to disconnect from the world's noise, to reconnect with yourself. Your screen, your phone, your tablet, these are not just devices. They are portals to a world of endless distraction, a world that is designed to capture your attention and drain your energy. Your first act of discipline in the evening is to close those portals, to declare a digital sunset. This is a non-negotiable time when your screens are put away, when the noise is silenced, and when you are left with your own thoughts, your own goals, and your own peace. This is an act of defiance against a culture of constant connectivity. It is a profound act of self-respect. The second part of this pillar is the mental unload. Before you go to bed, you must get the day's chaos out of your head. Take a notebook and write down everything that is on your mind. Write down your to-do list for tomorrow. Write down the thoughts that are bothering you. This simple act of writing externalizes the noise. It clears the mental clutter. It allows your mind to rest, knowing that the important thoughts are safely stored on the page, not spinning in your head. Once you have disciplined the shutdown, you must then engage the most powerful tool of the evening, reflection. This is not a passive memory. It is a strategic review. It is the captain's log of the day's journey. Your reflection ritual is a 3-question review. What went well today? This question is a conscious act of gratitude. It forces you to focus on the wins, the progress, the small victories. It reinforces a mindset of abundance and positivity, ensuring that you go to bed feeling empowered, not defeated. What did I learn today? This question turns every experience into a lesson. It forces you to see a mistake not as a failure, but as a data point. It allows you to extract wisdom from your experiences, ensuring that no experience is ever wasted. What could be better tomorrow? This question is about progress, not perfection. It allows you to look at the day's shortcomings, not with self-criticism, but with a strategic eye. It allows you to identify a single, small action you can take tomorrow to improve, to adjust, to move forward. This disciplined reflection allows you to turn chaos into clarity. It allows you to take the unexamined noise of the day and turn it into a powerful, actionable plan for tomorrow. The ultimate reward of these final rituals is not just a peaceful ending. The ultimate reward is a restful night of sleep, which is the ultimate foundation for all mental and physical performance. A chaotic ending leads to a restless night, but a disciplined ending leads to a profound sense of peace. You are going to bed with a clear mind, a grateful heart, and a plan for a new day. And that peaceful, deep sleep is the engine that will recharge your mind, restore your body, and prepare you for a new conquest. Your final rituals are the most profound act of self-respect you can perform. They are the act of saying to yourself, my time is valuable, my mind is important, my sleep is non-negotiable, and my future is worth this disciplined act of intentionality. The final anchor is the ultimate safeguard of your success. It is the discipline to stop, to reflect, and to prepare. It is the act of becoming a master of your endings so that you can become a master of your beginnings. And when you master your beginnings, you master your life. You now have the 10 daily rituals that will be the invisible architecture of your life. You have the blueprint for a life of profound progress. You will begin with quiet reflection and a morning routine, having the clarity to know where you stand. You will then master your time with planning tomorrow, today, and setting daily intentions, refusing to drift through life. You will fuel your body and mind by moving your body daily and feeding your mind positivity. You will understand the invisible power of the law of compounding and commit to a new standard with the law of the extra mile. You will strengthen your support with focusing on deep connections. You will stay motivated by tracking progress and celebrating wins. You will build an unbreakable mindset by finding the seed of opportunity in every defeat. And you will end each day with peace by limiting screen time wisely and practicing gratitude before rest. The secret to success is not a magic formula. It is a decision. It is a commitment. It is the result of the choices you make every single day. So, take these 10 rituals, commit to them fully, and when you look back a year from now, you will not be the same person. You will be a creator of circumstance. You will be a master of your own destiny. Your conquest begins now. Don't let this be just another video you watch. Make it the turning point. Subscribe to the channel, and let's conquer your mind and your life together.